Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly. I'm so glad that you are here today. Thank you for coming by. I'm going to be doing a kind of mid-month reading update, mid-month wrap-up, talking about what I've already completed for middle grade March, the other things that I am in the middle of and reading that may or may not have anything to do with middle grade March. So first of all, we talk about the first book that I finished, and that is Crenshaw by Katherine Applegate. This was actually a buddy read with Courtney from Courtney Reads. This is the first time we've read middle grade together. And this book, I definitely have mixed feelings about it. I did really enjoy the story overall. It's a little boy named Jackson who has been having a really hard time. His family, they're in dire financial straits. He has a little sister that he's very protective of, and he's a very scientific and logical kid. He wants to be a scientist when he grows up. And so he's not the most imaginative child in the world, but when times are tough, as they are now for him, he has an imaginary ginormous cat that shows up in his life. And it's kind of an odd thing for him because he doesn't necessarily use his imagination or create things like that typically, but he really kind of seems to be helping him through this hard time. I love Jackson, and I think a lot of kids could relate to him, and because he was presented very realistically and having very real emotions that a child would have. So it may be helpful for some kids that may be going through something similar, or for kids to read to empathize with children who are going through things similar. Although Courtney very wisely pointed out that a lot of children may want to avoid books that people are going through something similar to themselves and want to go to a more fun fantasy that has nothing to do with what they are going through. I was very peeved at the parents though. Although they were loving parents and they were trying to work together for their children's good, the father was very resistant to going to get food assistance, and his children were hungry, which was frustrating because his kids were hungry. So that was a big issue for me in the book, but I think it was an enjoyable read, and so there we have it. The Secret Garden, of course, is one of my favorite books of all time. Reread that with my kids. We actually listened to it, and it is lovely for so many reasons. And I am going to do a dedicated video this month at some point talking about why I love The Secret Garden, what you need to watch out for with that book, maybe, if your kids have not read it before, what you need to discuss with them about it. And I hope to get that out soon. Of course, this book hits most, if not all, the prompts, flowers on the cover, 3 named author, Frances Hodgson Burnett, written in the 1900s. So lovely as usual. Also, that was one of the group reads for middle grade March. We have started listening to another one of the group reads. There are only 2. This one is Moongarden, which has its inspiration from The Secret Garden. This is a modern sci-fi / dystopian novel. There's a girl who has a bit of an attitude, but she's very, very smart. And it seems like maybe so far we've just started, but The Secret Garden might be a hidden lab or something. We'll see. But I find this to be a really interesting one so far. Since we're listening to it when we're in the car, we may not get through all of this month, but we'll do the best we can. Hopefully Libby will let us keep checking out. And then as far as not middle grade reads that I am in the middle of, I'll tell you I'll give you a break from middle grade and tell you the not middle grade reads that I'm reading, and then come back to the middle grades that I'm in the middle of. So I am reading Persuasion by Jane Austen, which if you know me, you know that is my favorite Jane Austen novel, with Bethany Brink's book, An Old American Spirit. This is Bethany's second time reading, my however many time, probably 4th or 5th time reading it. but it's Old American Spirit's first time, so it'll be fun to kind of see what she thinks. So this is about Anne Elliot, who was persuaded by a very close friend that as a mentor kind of took her mother's place to not marry Captain Wentworth, who was her great love. And now Captain Wentworth is back in her life, and we see how it unfolds. My favorite romance up there with The Blue Castle. Those are my two favorite romances. All right, so Tiffany from Beautiful Minutiae is hosting a read-along and inviting myself, Dia from Novel Idea, and Anne from In Search of Wonder to come along with her and help her with lives on Saturday evenings. We had our first live over the first 3 chapters in the book that she chose last Saturday, and we'll do 4 through 6, but there's still time to join along. We're only doing a lot of versions of the book have 12 chapters, and that's the version we're doing. If you get one of the free versions, there might be 20 chapters, but we're only doing the first 12 chapters, and that is E.M. Bounds, Power Through Prayer. And a lot of this book is really targeting pastors in their praying life, but you can really truly substitute any ministry in there. It has definitely had some very quotable phrases in there, and I really feel like this could be a book that can just touch your heart and remind you why prayer is so important. It's about surrender. All right, and now for the middle grades that I'm in the middle of currently. So this is The Keeper of the Lost Cities. I know I'm so late, but my daughter has told me that I must start reading this. I don't know if I will finish it in March, by Shannon Messenger. Is it Messenger? Messenger. So we have a girl who's different, which I know is that I don't want to spoil it. I'm 9 chapters in. How a lot of stories start, but this one seems like it might be extra special. I don't want to give anything away. And then I have been reading the 5th book in the Pages and Coast series, and this is a really great series about book wandering children, and I am excited to read this along with other friends on Chatty's at Discord, Chatty the Mad Chatter. She's already, I believe, finished it. And so we have children that can wander into books and adults. And the book that they are wandering into for this story, books they are going into, one of them is The Secret Garden. I think the other one will be The Wizard of Oz. So there you have it. That is what I'm reading. I hope you guys read a lot and are having a great March so far. Let me know what you're reading. Read a lot. Bye-bye.